Hello and welcome to India Career Center, the one-stop podcast for students, professionals, parents and guardians. In every episode, we will try to deal with a current topic that needs expert advice related to career guidance and career mentoring. Please welcome your host, Dr. S.P. Mishra to the show and happy listening.
Welcome to another episode on India Career Center. So, to start our conversation, I think we will briefly understand about you. If you can take us through briefly about your, take us through that, starting from your educational background.
Yeah. Coming to my education, I'm a double master's. It's like I've done MSc Biotechnology from 40 Women's College and also master's in Biotechnology MTech in JNTU. Even before that, I'm a graduate in microbiology from Kakatiya University, where I was a gold medalist and a university topper. And my parents was a bigger support. My parents used to live in Warangal, where all my till graduation was in Warangal. In the Kakatiya University. Then I moved to Hyderabad for masters for the MSc Biotechnology in Women's College, where I realized, okay, there's a lot of potential in biotechnology and also to upgrade my skills. And in fact, the women centric motivation came from the college, I can say, because a lot of women are there and we used to converse more on what are the issues of different families they are doing. And I think the seeds of whatever I'm doing has been like implanted in various stages of my education. Every stage I was looking for certain kind of differences, what is there in the society, and then evolving to the next stage. So it helped me. Immediately after my master's, I got married, and it's my fortunate that again my in-laws and my husband are very supportive for women. And then I happened to continue my education after my marriage too. So, and after my marriage, I've done my double masters only to see whether I'll fit for my research or in fact for the teaching, because even if you want to advance in your career, those were the two options which were available then. So I was not aware on different options. Like now you're having a kind of a podcast or this one where you're motivating more young students. Then we didn't have those options to know where the other opportunities are. Only it's like in the college, you will be treated like, okay, once you finish your education, it's the job, what you'll take it, or you have to continue your education. Those were only the two options what will be given. But most of the young students doesn't know that there are multiple options available. And thanks to again you who has taken that lead of in passing those information, like it's connecting the people again who are doing and who wants that. It's again the connecting the dots, and such institutes also will help us. The reason for me to accept your invitation was only thing is like it will help me to move forward very progressively without putting much efforts. And thank you once again for that. And after my master's, it has to be like I had to I chose MTech double masters only for reason to test myself whether I'll be eligible for research, because my master's MTech in biotechnology had 1 year of research as of the project, wherein in my MSc it was only 2 months. It is very short for us to understand ourselves whether we'll be able to be fit for the research, and because there's a kind of a different aptitude everyone needs. It's like the commitment. It's again the consistency of what you want to do, and it's like again the masters helped me. So I've done my PhD in Agrisat under biotechnology field, because that was my previous segment what I was working. And I've taken agriculture biotechnology as specialization, where I have done my research of on transgenics, the advanced sciences, because always I was motivated to do the most advanced sciences, whichever was available. And I've done my PhD in agriculture in groundnut transgenics, addressing the problem of aflatoxin and by reducing the mold infestation. So which I completed in 2014. It's like 7 years of research. So I've planned my family, I planned my marriage, I planned my kids, everything, but also my career. This is also possible. This is what I tell about whenever women says it's like, it's not possible for me, it's not possible. It's just because the confidence what you give to your parents and your family, whomever you're going to do, and the support system just comes in place.
So, ma'am, just wanted to understand when you chose the topic for your PhD, what was the reason for you to take up something related to agriculture?
Yeah. Coming from an agriculture background, like see, my grandfather has agriculture, and my father also, though he was doing a business in Warangal, he only invested in agriculture. So we always had that connect to villages, and then agriculture being the segment saying that it has no end. What I can say is like, there is always a problem which is arising, and a solution needs to be evolved, and it cannot be like a uniform or unique solution for every others. A new problem will come and new solution needs to be done, and research was one thing where we have to find solutions for the problems which is there, and this has motivated me to be in agriculture. First, what I should understand what is there, then I can say, okay, I can provide any solution. If without a proper understanding you cannot say that. And always choosing the transgenics was like, then the biotechnology was in a very high boom, and everyone was saying, okay, biotechnology has an option because it's a combination of sciences. What I can say is like, I'm not a specialist in genetics, I may not be specialist in a particular botany, but I'm a specialist of a combinatorial subject where I understand both fragments. So it's more easy for me to say, okay, I'm in advanced sciences, but I also understand the basic sciences which is required for that. And molecular biology was always my like, even in masters in biotechnology, that was my favorite subject. So cloning and then genetic engineering, all these were like a very favorite subjects, I can say. I was really inclined to that, and I choose my PhD related to that.
So moving on, so after your PhD, then you started also working. And so take us through your early part of your professional career until you became entrepreneur.
Yeah. So again, I can say this is like it's kind of a second part of career, what I can say, because I was working completely in the lab, and I was also not knowing the exact problems of the farmers. I choose a job which was available in the segment. It's again related to agriculture itself. So I was working in rural development department of the state, which is called SERP Telangana. It is usually called SRLMs, State Rural Livelihood Missions in other states. But in AP and Telangana, it is called SERP, Society for Elimination of Rural Poverty, which is a 20 plus years old organization where it works on the rural livelihoods. And I was assigned a role of consultant working on a vegetable value chain. I was heading that for the state. And that has given me a lot of prospects, in fact, a lot of insights on what needs to be worked out now. Going into nitty-gritties of what can be done in very small things, a small change also can benefit. What small changes can be really implemented and create a certain kind of change in their livelihoods. Was the task. And it has transformed my entire attitude of farming. In fact, I can say. I used to think that, okay, farmers are there, the agriculture is there, only the problem in the cultivation is the problem. So I choose research there, so that my research would help them to get better crop. But it's not only that, but there are multiple things which needs to be worked out for the farming to come into a glorifying segment, what I can say. So when we were working very closely with them, we realized, okay, no, certain small changes also can benefit. So we did certain kind of pilot models, like small changes in their cultivation where they increase their income and reduce their expenditures. Small saving also mattered to them. So if we are able to take this up in a very big level, yes, this is going to change. And also we were training them on storage structures and also on the value chain. And this was the part of the job what I was doing. I have two sides of career. It's like pre-PhD, after PhD.
And then you also worked along with the government of India and government of Germany.
Yes. This position is like, I'm placed as a consultant on behalf of German ministry. So they had a consulting agency who have employed us and given this opportunity. That was like a 2-year assignment. Then I said, okay, even before getting into entrepreneurship, I have to take up something to earn some money and to also think beyond whatever it is there. I also need to have that network, a strong network, which will help me. And it's always, I already have done my PhD, so it's easy for, I have to take my career also ahead. So that's the reason I chose that job. But fortunately or unfortunately, I cannot say anything because it was meant to be a two-year assignment, which I agreed. but it got extended because we performed very good there. And even the German ministry has requested and the Indian ministry has requested, why can't this project be extended for another 3 years? And then we wrote a extension project for another 3 years. Again, we got COVID. We didn't know what to do, how to do. It was mostly on the capacity building of the government officials and the department officials on the seed segment, because it was a German project working on specifically on the seed sector development, where the formal assignment was to coordinate between the Indian side and the Germany side to have a common understanding between the technologies and also availability of structures like the policy level structures or certification level structures and all these. So that was the assignment which was given to us. And we were doing good. And then they realized, okay, there's a lot of potential to be taken forward. Then they extended the project also. And in fact, I joined for 2 years and I was working for almost 6.5 years. Till this March, I was working as a consultant there. So it was always, again, my choice to say, no, I cannot work beyond this level. And I had to take a part-time later because I already started my journey of entrepreneurship and all this. So,
okay. And this was related to seeds. So was there any specific seeds which were
no, we were not working on the seed production or anything, but we were working on the like quality standards of the seed, what needs to be done if it has to go to export market, because Germany was looking forward for Indian seed expertise to be there, because the main aim was like the cropping system is very good here and everyone is so well versed in the seed production and everything, but we are only retaining for the grains, because ourselves is a good seed producer, but for our Indian internal consumption only we are producing, but we
we're not able to export out.
Yeah, we were not, it's not able to, but the opportunity is not explored.
Okay.
So we were the persons who were initiating all those talks and everything. And the seed industry, few seed companies are already there in export where they are doing good business. But we were targeting like the small and medium seed companies to go. We were doing the capacity building programs for them. We were going doing the exposure visits to engaging them in the exposure visits to understand how the German system is working. So all these kind of activities were part of our project, and this helped the seed industry in a format saying that, okay, we had so many training programs conducted for, I can say, like the seed certification, which is the most important part of the value chain, where we were not doing a good job earlier. Now it's at least the awareness has gone on. The seed certification is important. So that's the major contribution what I can say, because emphasizing on the seed certification helps you from the farm level, the quality of the product is ensured. So only if it is certified seed, it can go for export. So this is what we were working all through. We were doing multiple programs for trainings.
Now let's move along and let's talk about your entrepreneurship journey, which is Agrighar.
Yeah.
So how it started, I mean, what's the backstory of this?
Yeah, the backstory again goes back to SERP, sir. That's why I say that is the seeding stage. So as my company name is Agrighar, I aim to be like a one-stop platform, giving solutions or providing certain kind of support systems in the complete agriculture value chain, what we can say. May it be farmer, if they are facing any problem in their procurement, we try to make them into FPOs, farmer producer organizations, and say, okay, this is the format what you have to work. So here Agrighar has been like a kind of a platform where we are connecting, and we have started very low, and we have registered like a proprietary company to start off an enterprise, because for any enterprise, see what we realized in SERP also, it's like the value addition is the key place where major benefit was not taken up by the farmers. So I said, no, I'm going to invest in that. So that's where I started. So now I know how to get them done. So again, the knowledge transfer should not stop with me. So I thought, why not I set up an incubation center? So that is how our even all the modules have been framed. Why not I transfer this knowledge to people who are looking forward to set up an enterprise? So there our incubation model arised. And then, okay, once the incubation is there, what is the next support they'll be needing? It's the market. And then we have evolved a market. So I will explain one-on-one and on all the concepts what we have done. So Agrighar is a company now working as a one-stop platform in promoting rural enterprises, generating rural livelihoods, and specifically targeting SHG women, because I worked in SERV with SHG women, self-help group women. So I don't want to lose the target because they have a lot of potential in taking up things. And because I'm a woman, I can understand what a woman can do. And if I can motivate those small segment of women into enterprises, it will surely succeed. Farmers are the key customers, and FPOs, farmer producer organizations. And the final target, it's not the least, but I should say the most important, where you and me, companies like us can do, the youth who are looking for jobs. So this is the segment which I'm like, when I realized why people are not retained in rural. See, when I realized the problem there, then I said, why not you start an enterprise with your child? There's no possibility of starting anything. So I said, okay, no, I have to fine tune what are the possibilities first. If I want to retain that next generation there, I have to fine tune to what possibilities I can create in the rural areas. Then that was my next research, what I was doing. Like now I have like a bucket of enterprise models where I'll just put it across the person who is coming to my table and say, okay, see, I have this, now choose. But to get to this level, yes, I had to do certain kind of efforts. I went myself, I used to take support of the different stakeholders in the value chain, and I evolved like kind of like everyone knows about it. It's not like new thing I'm creating, but I'm just consolidating them and say, this is where I'm working. So now I have a problem to be solved and I have a solution. Now I'm looking for people who can be there. So the youth whom I'm mentioning, sir, is like, they have a lot of potential. They are looking for, in fact, opportunities. They don't even know that they can start an enterprise with as low as like 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs. I will try to figure out whatever I can do in the home and I still be successful in the career. This is what I took stand for. And I'm exploring options and I've come up to this level. If I don't had that intention, I would have gone to some other job. I would have gone out of the country and looked for a job. That is always there. So what is the thing, what you want to work? This is where we have to ensure that we have to motivate the young generation. No matter it's a girl or a boy, sir, it is the requirement of the nation to retain them at the places where they are. And there is a lot of potential in those areas because your costs are going to cut like huge if you're starting an enterprise. So even I go to agriculture universities, or they call me for even NIRD, I'm a national resource person there. They call me for the sessions to understand what is there to motivate other people who are coming from different states. I happen to get that. So during the process, I learned. I'm also in a position to teach, and I placed myself where I can reach out to multiple stages of people. What I can say. Why I'm telling about youth is like, if they are given that knowledge that this is available, and if you can motivate them, this can be done. Your solution is provided. So we are working on that segment, sir.
Okay, so just to understand, so when it comes to Agrighar, basically it is a platform which has got knowledge about agriculture and farming and distribution and similar products. So in a way, you're like a incubation center, like many other. But then if somebody is looking for a solution, so what would be the USP? Why somebody will come to Agrighar?
So now Agrighar is situated in such a place, the USP would be like an integrated training and production unit. So ours is manufacturing unit. And since I said it's a food processing, what needs to be taken forward? Now we are concentrating on the food processing segment to take in. Because even the government during COVID, the central government have realized that, see, food processing is a neglected sector. We know agriculture commodity is very well good, and there are people who wants to eat. But the internally, what the realization was like, we are the major exporters of a product, and we are also importers of its value-added product. So there is a lot of gap in the in between the segment where the processing and the packaging and the storage needs to be worked. Now, central government has released certain kind of schemes which is supporting for the infrastructure development. There is an agri infrastructure fund which is there, and I happen to be one of the beneficiaries. I am now promoting in a very big level because it gives you scope to get the government support system at ₹0.5 interest. It's like 6% is the effective interest, what we call it. So people don't even know this information. So I am taking the, like, whoever comes to my step is like, I have now taken this information to thousands of people who have come. But is it enough? No, the government itself is taking it like every Thursday. They conduct in Telangana, they conduct like an awareness workshop every Thursday. So it's a lot of efforts needs to be taken to reach out to farmers. And most of the government agencies are also now been asked to promote this scheme, because there is a lot of funding available. There is a lot of opportunity available. There is a lot of requirement also is there. So if you can map these structures, then that is good. The other part is like why we have chosen food processing is again saying that as a business, we have to earn something, and we are entering into a segment where there's a lot of gap. But only being a production unit, I don't think I will be able to work out towards my mission. So we have set up like an integrated training and production unit. So we invite farmers or all the FPOs or SHG women or anyone who wants to start an enterprise, no matter what it is, no matter what gender it is, no matter how much scale they have. We just invite them to have an exposure visit on every second Saturday. So for us, every second Saturday is an exposure visit day. It's a zero processing day. We term it as internally, we term it as like a zero processing day, because we invite any person in the India or any place of the world on second Saturday. So this is an exposure visit, what we do for individuals. But if an agency or an NGO or on any teaching agency wants to conduct an exposure visit for 25 plus persons, we are open on any day. So apart from these exposure visits, we do awareness sessions, sir, for people who are really interested to start off industry and they have pre-knowledge, who are fixed that they have to come into enterprise segment. So we do awareness sessions. This is again charged per hour basis. Simultaneously, if I could convince them, okay, agri enterprise segment is good, and I am now convinced to take it, then we incubate them. So incubation program is a 1-year module, what we say, from end to end. It's like we do conduct trainings also for all these people. We have like a monthly training calendar is always on. I will also share those details where you can display in this. Where every week, Wednesday to Friday is a training place. So we do hands-on training, sir. That is the USP again. So we allow them to touch, do, cut, process, pack, and everything.
Oh, very good.
This is not the training no one is allowing you to do.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
Yeah,
So
because
just to interrupt slightly here.
Yeah.
So when you say young people you're targeting with, let's say, some seed capital of 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, something like that. So also mandatorily these people should have some farmland?
No.
Not
No.
necessary?
Not necessary.
Okay. That's
Not
good to
necessary.
clarify.
That's like kind of a need not be a farmland, but they can lease it out from someone. So this is what we do during the awareness sessions, sir. We will understand mostly, like, see, people think that एक बार incubation में आ गए तो सब कुछ Agrighar संभालेगी. नहीं. We are not here to give a ready-made solution. We try to make yourself eligible to fit into that solution. We train you, we modulate you what is required. Okay, even before going to that step, this is the pre-step what you have to clarify. Even in my incubation model across the year, we say, okay, after one step, you have to finish this assignment to come into next step. Only then you can ask my time. So I give target based. See, I'll give you 1 month time, but if you can finish in 10 days, yes, come back and say, I'm finished this role and now ask for a
if somebody joins your incubation program, by end of the year, they will be actually running a proper organization?
Yes, they will at least start an enterprise. They will have certain kind of model, and this is what we ensure. So where we say it's not about the awareness, it's about the implementation. We make sure that they are doing what you have to excel in your business too. It's not
basically
like
what value addition you can do.
Yeah, it's about your presence is needed, and it is valued, and you're also benefiting from it. It's not that मैंने पैसा लगा दिया मेरा पैसा अटक गया, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं रहना चाहिए. So you have to identify. So we give assignments to them, personal assessments to them. Okay, you are from certain kind of place. Okay, this is the demographics what we understand. You do your demographics, because once you're sure about the demographics of the cropping systems and how it is placed, you will get your answer for why you are starting an enterprise.
Okay.
So
That's
those
very good.
kind of facilitation, what we do is like one-to-one facilitation. I don't know how long I'll be able to do this, give this support system. And now I'm ensuring that my next level managers are coming to this level to address this. So even that effort is there. Even I train my team first. I was like, the training starts from within the organization. So I've taken all freshers in my unit. That's the USP what we are taking, because most of the people in agri segment say that everyone wants an experienced person. If no one is ready to give an experience, how you will get an experienced person?
Mm.
So I'm motivating them to be in my unit, saying that, okay, I've taken a fresher. I put my investment, saying that I'm confident enough on my training, and I'm ensure if you support me within certain kind of skill, yes, you will retain, you'll be retained. And if you're retained and if you want to continue, and you will be a shareholder in my company. So that is how I'm motivating them. It's like, I want my people, my Agrighar team would be leaving Agrighar only to start an enterprise. So I ensure that the training starts with my team. Either they have to leave Agrighar to only to start an enterprise, or else they will be an entrepreneur staying in the company too.
Okay. One more thing, if a young person is looking at, I mean, watching this episode, is there a possibility that your organization can take some of them as interns for some time?
Yes, we do have that, sir. So usually during the, we are already having like 3 interns working now. So we
Okay.
don't charge them. We don't pay them also, because it's
Yeah,
a
that's
learn.
okay.
Yeah. So it's like only things, only for accommodation. If they are requiring nearby the unit, we charge them, because there is, again, we have to rent out some space. So we provide that. And internship is a running model what we do. It's like, if anyone wants to learn experience, yes, they can, even after finishing your graduation or anyone, they can approach us. I can share my program manager's number, and she can, we have a certain kind of training module also for them. But it's not like job assured training, what we can
Yeah,
say.
yeah. Just to
It's like
learn.
it's only to get that hands-on experience to deal. Even before, in fact, we tell our incubators also to use our facility to have that hands-on experience even before you start your enterprise. So we give space for product development. We give space for getting their processing, packaging, and everything. So it's kind of a reduced cost what we give for incubators. That's a additional benefit. If they are an incubator, they can get that space for that. So we here as an incubation center would like to provide space for, because we have a multi-food processing industry. I forgot to tell about that. Again, the USP would be like, the third USP would be like, we are a multi-food processing industry situated in one place. So we have a rice mill, we have a dal mill, we have a millet processing mill, we have cold press oil machine, we do have solar dehydrator, we do have a cold storage. The reason for choosing these is like, in southern India, because I'm placed in India, in southern India, I say rice is the major crop what they do. So even if an entrepreneur wants to scale up, there are many rice mills also. The regular rice need not be a very big fascinating industry, but there are few entrepreneurs who are working very close with farmers, where they have the special rices, the native varieties, and everything. They are facing problem in getting the rice polished, or getting the grain out of it, the rice out of the grain, because it is getting mixed with the other varieties. So they need a small machine, which they. So again, we have like a manufacturing as a service as another model. This is another fourth USP what we are giving as a. We are the promoters of like custom manufacturing or contract manufacturing in a very big scale. I'll give you certain examples also. See, for rice, certain kind of desi variety rices, they choose our machine. They get that 100 kilos, 250 kilos, or 500 kilos is what MOQ, what we have. They just use it up, and they take the rice. Simultaneously, for a mango farmer, recently we are doing this mango processing because this is now season. Suddenly there is a rain and there is there is a fall of fruit. They don't know what to do. The fruit has been in the right stage, but it's just left it out on the tree to ripen. It's big enough, but it's yet to ripen. Now the fruit has fallen. It's all under loss. So we are here to address those post-harvest losses, or during this unexpected national calamities, where we are saying, get your product here. We will store it in cold storage. We have a cold storage of 8-ton capacity. We'll provide that space for a couple of them, and we will process it. See, kacha aam hai to hum amchur bana ke de rahe. अगर पक्का आम है तो we are doing the pulp processing and giving them. Use up whatever facility what we have. So we are doing manufacturing as a service also to generate that motivation that these farmers will learn tomorrow and start up these kind of activities at their farms. If they
That's
have
right.
certain kind of facilities, small facilities within 10 lakhs, sir, I'm telling every model is within 10 lakhs, what I'm telling. So each model, it, like since I have like a all in one place, my cost has been gone up. But within 10 to 15 lakhs, you can set up this place, this size of intervention and just benefit that.
Right.
So
Okay.
small interventions I'm trying to inculcate, and our USP, as I said, is like a multi-stage, multi-food processing industry and one place. So whatever the farmer grows, if he's growing fruits and vegetables, they can use up the cold storage and they can get it solar dehydrated. They can store their products for longer shelf life. They can increase the shelf life. They can increase the value of the product, which they are not able to sell every day. So they just sell out of no choice to at a lower price. But if you have certain, so we have partnered with machinery providers now. That is the next stage what we'll be doing. So we will ensure that if a farmer is doing like this is the average capacity, this is a small cold storage they will be needing, so this will be assigned. So these models, these customized models is our USP where we can give to an entrepreneur. Depending on the farmland, depending on the area, depending on the scale of investment, what you have, we customize those models and we give it. So again, how to set up an enterprise? Yes, we are here to link to all those service providers. It's not that Agrighar or Sowmini is doing it alone. I'm linking all these people, and one platform is like, yeah, I have these people and I have these requirements and I can map them. And okay, you have a basket of people to choose, a basket of opportunities to choose, and basket of solutions to provide. Depending on there, it's all customizable model what we offer with. So I've covered most of this one, and there's only one FPO consultancy which we could not cover. This is again for the same models, whatever it is there for an FPO. This is a 3-year model what we do. We are just motivating those FPOs to come into value addition. And our setup is a kind of a pilot model for every one of them. So within half-acre land, because for an FPO, half-acre land is not a very big thing. So I set up all these entities, what I've been speaking now, in a half-acre land with all regulations followed. And it is an industrial estate where we are placed, and all facilities are provided, and this can be managed. And if a group of farmers like 100 members or 200 members are coming, for them half-acre land is not a big thing to offer.
Yeah.
Maybe in a couple of years we can come up with a solution for that also.
Fantastic. Now, I mean, before we close, I think let's talk about your product innovations.
Yeah.
You have created your own brand, and what is the purpose of this and how you're taking this forward?
Yeah. So our brand is Neisha, Neisha. If you type it in the Google also, you'll have like purity, life and wellness. So that's the meaning what it gives. And I have very much proud to say it's a combination of my both daughters' names. The brand which I was chosen is like, it's the food which needs purity and it should have the life, and it's the wellness is the final entity. So we are targeting a health segment. Our product innovation or product development has gone to that level that we are using, we are replacing sugar and using jaggery. It's kind of a substitute. It's not that we cannot say that we are giving sugar-free products. I'm not a person who will tell get good health only by compromising on your taste. So I'm trying to build up those models, like even millets. So we have a millet machine only for that reason. So we are having we are making use of all the machines, what I'm telling now, for only for one millet product to evolve. Say pongal is there, millet pongal, instant millet pongal. You need dal for that, you need vegetables for that, you need millet processing machine for that. You need rice again for making dosas and everything. So I'm making all the machines useful for my own product. So only if people who are intending to those kind of multi products, because I don't want to depend, like if I'm setting up only a millet processing unit, I'll be looking for another dal processor. I need to get, because again, unless until I'm the processor, I don't get the quality of material what I can handle myself within my unit. So I said, okay, let me have the capacities in such a way that it can address to this level and also to this level. So even my own DPR, detailed project report, was planned by me. Like, ye karna. See, I'm the first learner even before implementer. So I sit, I spend hours of time with the consultants, because I'm not a specialist in DPR making. So I depend on external persons, but I should know my requirement. I should know my requirement, how much I should be able to procure under anything. And this is the how our Nesha brand has come. And the purpose of branding it alone is like, when I'm training for the incubatees, I should also speak about branding concept. It's not that they can come up with this one. And why we have branded this again separately is like, we are also open for white labeling. So unless until I release my product outside, I cannot say that this product is available. Okay, this can be branded under, say, Mishra agencies kolna chahte hai. You don't have to invest in the entire infrastructure. You can use our infrastructure, get the product. As a distributor, you can avail this product and put your brand and label. So we are working on the custom labeling and rebranding also. That's the reason. The purpose of branding myself is like, okay, saying that the product should go first in something. I cannot keep on selling samples. Mine should be my own entity should have its own revenue model and should have certain. And the purpose of the branding is like, I'm aiming for export now. Right. So I'm taking for the US FDA certification now, ISO certification, and all these certificates, so that first I implement in my organization and then I teach for people who wants to go into exports. Now being in a US FDA now, it's still under process, but once it is done, for all those exporters, they will find a potential in me. Because most of the US FDA certified facilities will not give those this one. So I can charge, but it cannot be charged like huge lakhs of rupees. I can charge accordingly. Coming to like a distribution model, I have established like different distribution models also. Then I can also explain if it is required. And
yeah, please go ahead. I think we should talk about the distribution.
Yeah. So how am I selling? This is the bigger answer. Everyone is like, how am I selling my products? So even before starting like proper distribution model, we have started like, we have our own e-commerce portal like VMart. Being a woman entrepreneur, we wanted to have an e-commerce portal exclusively for women, and we started like vmartglobal.in is the www.vmartglobal.in is the website where we have aggregated all women entrepreneurs products, no matter it is food or non-food, we have all those products there. So I've used up that as a distribution. So VMart acts as a distributor for me. It's co-founded by another entrepreneur. So it's again, we have a women association also to promote women entrepreneurs, that is WeAim. So through that, we facilitated all these activities from past 6 years, and now we are in a place where we want to move out to chapters. And this distribution also, we are also looking for distributors. We start with like, see, I cannot sell my product entirely. So we have to develop those models before even saying that neither I can start a store. Being a manufacturer, I cannot start a store and run it effectively. So I'm looking for people who are already having a store to be a distributor of our products. So they can act as a distributors. We give like 20 to 40% depending on the product they are choosing and depending on the volume. And especially to motivate more young people into this model, we are giving it a very low cost of 50,000 as an deposit, caution deposit for that. And they can start off, anyone can start an enterprise now with 1 lakh rupees.
So okay, 50, so the 50,000, the model which is for the young people, 50,000, do they need a shop or they can operate out of home?
Out without shop also. So we will train them how to sell, because we know now we have started this model only saying that every entrepreneur will have certain kind of marketing margins for them. So they should have, even we teach to the entrepreneurs who are coming to us saying that the marketing expenses would be this much for every product to go into the customer level. So these margins, if it is taken by someone, that margins are distributed over the period. And this 50,000 is like a caution deposit, because, and it's kind of an assurance, and it's all kind of a commitment from both sides. See, I'm giving my product, like 50,000, like 1 lakh is the model, sir, for anyone who wants to come and take up our distribution. 1 lakh is the initial deposit, what we ask. Apart from that, it all depends. The discounts depend upon how much volume you're taking. This is a refundable deposit. We are not asking like any time after 1 year, because we need to have 1 year at least to understand whether this product goes or not. So these kind of models we are evolving, and we can customize based on the requirements.
Really fascinating. All your endeavors have been really fascinating, and I'm sure looking at this conversation, some of the young people will reach out to you, and we will share all the details on the show notes.
Okay, sir.
about all the links of your organization and your contact details also, so that people can reach out to you, and they can seek your advice and take this forward. Thank
Thank
you,
you, sir.
madam. Thank you so much for being with us today and sharing all your knowledge.
Thank you
And
very much.
look forward to catching up again with some other topic, and we'll discuss more about your other initiatives.
Sure, sure,
Thank
sure.
you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Hope you enjoyed this episode. We sincerely wish you could take something from our conversation today and be able to apply it to your life in a positive way. We value your feedback. This can help us improve our future episodes. So share your thoughts to serve you better. If you want us to focus on a topic which you think is of importance, let us know. We will share our expertise in future episodes. So, see you soon with a new topic and help you in your career journey.